So today the Board of Supervisors, in a unanimous vote, took action on two different items. The first item was the question of whether or not we should enter into a conditional use permit, which involved allowing a temporary change of zoning at the DeWitt Center at the barracks facility. That was a 4-0 vote. Supervisor Duran was not present today, but the rest of the Board of Supervisors agreed that that was something that we were willing to do. Interestingly, the board also took the conditional use permit for ourselves. It's actually a county conditional use permit, so that if we should have unintended consequences that arise during the course of the 90-day interim sheltering opportunity, we can actually pull the permit. If there are problems that arise, it's our permit. So then, rather than having to go through a complicated process with a private entity, it's all internal, which really adds to the level of safety for our employees, for the public, and frankly for the folks who will be utilizing the shelter. The second action we took was to direct our Director of Facility Services, Mary Dietrich, to continue the conversations with Right Hand Auburn and the Volunteers of America folks on the specific terms for use of the facility. And that's going to be a complicated document, but they've had a number of conversations with our county council and with facility services, and I'm very hopeful that this item can come back to the Board of Supervisors at our next meeting, which is February the 24th. So the process as it would move forward from here, as I understand it, is the conversations would continue on the legal side, on the contractual side, and what those terms would be. How would the shelter be operated? What would the safeguards be? What would the hours be? So that's one piece of it. The second piece is that Right Hand Auburn and the Volunteers of America will need to submit an actual plan for the building itself to do the ADA compliant upgrades, to make sure that all the issues structurally in terms of public safety with the building are addressed before we allow anyone to occupy the building. Once a contract has been agreed to, once it comes back to the Board of Supervisors, and once all those upgrades are completed, it's my expectation that the Board of Supervisors will approve this. And at that point in time, once we allow occupancy of the structure, it will be for a 90-day period. And at the end of the 90-day period, we will be able to take a look at what happened, see if there were unintended consequences, and if there were, we can consider whether we want to extend the use of the facility or just say we gave it our best shot. 90 days was what we did, and it didn't work. There was a condition that Chairman Euler proposed that I think was really valuable and added a great deal of, I think, comfort to not just the community, but it'll add comfort to our own employees at the DeWitt Center. And that is that there needs to be, as part of this discussion, a community group which helps with oversight of the facility and of the operation and is able to really kind of weigh in and help address any questions, any concerns, any issues that might arise. And frankly, I think my intention would be to make sure we have at least one county employee who works at the DeWitt facility on that oversight board, on that community governance board. One of the folks in the audience today mentioned that this was a very long time coming and that he was delighted to see leadership by the board on this item. And I think it's critical to really emphasize that it was a unanimous vote and that while it took a while to get where we need to be, I think we're truly going to get there. And it will truly benefit the larger community, the DeWitt, and Placer County generally.